So listen, man, we sitting here with someone that I have been pretty vocal about me being a fan of and just supporting. J Alphonse Nicholson, man. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing well, man.
Came all the way out to LA to fuck with you, man.
I see that,
right?
man. That's love, bro. Appreciate y'all, man.
Finally here.
Yes, sir.
So, I was telling Rory about, sitting down and coming to kick it with you, and I was like, yo, this is a guy that I think is on his way to do a lot of big things. And a lot of the things that Rory and myself was known for is noticing talent early, supporting it, and then sitting back and watching it grow into something. So coming and sitting, kicking it with you was something that was on my list. I was like, I gotta sit there and talk with him. Yeah. So we here in LA, man. How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling great, man. I'm feeling blessed. I appreciate you, brothers, man.
I appreciate you. Listen, you showed up with, hey, me and you locked in forever. Now, this the way to my heart right here. I don't know if you know that.
Hey, that's the way to everybody's heart, man.
Right.
If you didn't know that, cannabis is universal, man. So shout out to Ball Family Farms. The Fonzie is on the way. Had to bless my gentleman here with some pack. We sitting, smoking a little something right now. I know you're feeling good. We great.
I'm good.
This looks like if you get pulled over, a cop hit a jackpot.
Oh yeah, jackpot.
Well, out
for
here
sure.
is different.
Yeah, out here is different. I think you actually ride around with up to.
We can put the seatbelt on that.
Yeah, it's good.
But
this is just for decoration. Nothing for sale. Nothing for sale. But
promotional material.
Yeah, but shout out to Ball Family Farms and shout out to you, gentlemen, man. Like I was telling you off camera, bro. You've been showing love before, once beginning P Valley episode 1, I remember getting a follow from you. I was like, oh shit, homie, fucking with me. That's bet. You was going through your that was kind of like at the top of the controversial and splitting up, and you all doing your own thing. So I said, yo, even through the storm, he's showing love.
Absolutely.
And so when it came time to do the show, it's nothing. It's the same thing. You hit my line.
Right.
Let's make it happen, bro. I'm feeling good.
Glad. Where does the story even start? Because when Maul hit me,
North Carolina. I want to go from there.
Okay.
And we gonna listen. We gonna smoke.
Okay.
We gonna talk about everything. We can talk about what the fuck we want to talk about.
Oh, that's
no
dope.
restrictions here. We kicking it. We having a good time. So
because when Maul hit me about you coming on, I naturally went to YouTube and shit to try to find interviews, podcasts, and stuff you've done just to learn a little bit more about you. And there wasn't much, which made me even more excited about this and wanted to get in your entire background story of how we even get to P Valley from years prior.
For sure, man. I appreciate y'all. Like I said, this is I would say the higher echelon of the podcast I've been doing. You guys are considered sophisticated.
We like to say
Are we considered sophisticated?
It's always good when somebody else says
somebody lied to you.
But y'all up there. Y'all doing your thing. You got plaques, you got awards, you got recognition. Yeah. You got your stripes in the game. And so I had to come on here. And then shout out to, Broccoli City, my boy Brandon McCahern. They've showed mad love. All the Essence, Shadow Act, all those people.
We have a lot of people in common.
A lot of people in common, but this is different.
Yeah.
You can come on here, sit back, and do this. So Greensboro, North Carolina is, for me, the foundation of everything that I've ever done. From being a drummer to, being obviously a father and a husband and a son. But everything I learned from Greensboro, North Carolina, I still carry with me to this day. So excellence through commitment and dedication is something that I learned at my high school, James B. Dudley High School. Shout out to them, all black. My middle school, all black. Probably had 1 or 2 white boys in there, but they was black.
They black.
So they came off. They had black baby mamas. They got black mixed children now. They came off.
They have fades.
They had fades. Right.
They had corners and they cut.
All that. So beards now, all that. But Greensboro, man. So from Dudley, I kind of knew I was going to be an entertainer or a musician.
Was that a performing arts high school?
It wasn't a performing arts high school, but it could have been.
Okay.
We had the best high stepping marching band within that area. People called us like the little A&T. Okay. And then I was on a step team. So in the band, I played the quints. I was on the drum line. Yeah. And for those who don't know what the quints are, that's the 5 drums that you carry on your shoulders. What's
that culture like in? Because we're from up north where marching bands aren't really a thing, especially in high school.
Right.
What's that culture involved? Like to us, it's sports in high school. That is the main focus.
It's nuts, man. From the band to the sports. Like my high school is really known for sports as well. Football, basketball, a lot of championships. But the band, a lot of people like if you're in the band, they're like, oh, you're not cool. No, my band is the opposite. My high school. If you was in the band, you was a cool motherfucker. And so that culture is really dope. I don't know if y'all familiar with Homecoming, Beyonce's Homecoming on Netflix. So she tried to give the world that type of feeling. That's a Friday night at my high school for sure. It's like Baychella, as they say. But from Greensboro, I was there until high school, so about 17. And then I moved 45 minutes away to a city called Durham, North Carolina.
Durham, shout out to
Very
Durham.
familiar.
Shout out to Durham, North Carolina. Shout out to North Carolina Central University, where I began my studies in theater there. Thought I was going to be a music major. And then shout out to Karen Deacons Brock. I love you. She's a wonderful professor who came up to me and said, yo, you have a personality that needs to kind of be honed and shine.
Yeah.
Like, won't you audition for this play? I did, and it changed my life.
So there was no theater up until North Carolina Central.
Yeah, church theater. That was it. My mom, she wrote a whole bunch of...
I used to pretend to pay attention to church too.
Right. Yeah,
I did church theater as well.
Look, church theater. My mom wrote a whole bunch of church plays, and I guess I didn't realize that when I got older. I was like, oh, I've been acting.
Yeah.
But it was church plays growing up, and then I started doing like a stand-up comedy when I was like 17, sneaking into these little clubs out in Greensboro, trying to get that muscle stretched out. And I said, man, maybe I can be in front of people and do this somehow, but I didn't know it was going to be theater until I got to Central.
Okay. And did they have like a theater program?
They did.
I know it's a very musical-based school.
It is. Jazz program.
My guy's little brother came out of there.
Oh, really? Wynton Marcellus helped start a program there.
Legendary.
Shout out to Wynton Marcellus. Shout out to Wynton because he also, years later, helped train me for Paradise Blue, a show that I did in New York where I had to play the trumpet.
So he actually trained you for that?
He and another brother, hate when I do that.
It's okay.
Forget their
No
names.
disrespect,
But he and someone else, yes,
Yeah.
they did help me. And the other gentleman spent a little more time with me, but I got to spend some time with Wynton. But Central is a liberal arts college, so small, not really known for anything particularly. Their law program is pretty fire. A lot of people come out of that. But I went for theater, and at the time it was a small program, but we had legends like Sam Art Williams who taught there. Sam Art Williams, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Martin Lawrence, a show called Home on Broadway. And so I got casted in his show Home while I was there, and I just fell in love with storytelling from then on out.
So was it, because you say you didn't, when your mom was writing church plays and stuff, you know, growing up, we got to act like everything. Cops pull us over, act like we ain't got nothing on us.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Moms come in, act like we wasn't doing something we wasn't supposed to do. So when did it click for you with the acting thing? Like, nah, I really want to go full throttle with this acting thing. Like, all of my energy and my focus is here.
Man, and so it's funny that you said that. I definitely did a lot of acting to get out of trouble and stuff like that growing up. But I didn't realize that I wanted to be a professional actor until I was about 18. And I had an opportunity to do a show called Caleb Calypso and the Midnight Marauders.
Okay.
Still to this day, one of the dopest shows I've ever done. The name itself is just fire. So shout out to Howard
Is it
Kraft.
the same Midnight Marauders from Tribe Called Quest? Is it like a play off of that?
It's kind of, because he's a huge fan of Wu-Tang. So he kind of, that era was his era.
Tribe,
So he was, it's really a play about these cats in the military out in Germany in the early 1980s. And my character in particular is funny, full circle, wanted to be a rapper. And he was trying to figure out a way to get out the military, you know, and not have to go to Desert Storm. But that's when I knew I wanted to do this for a living. And one of my directors at the time, Joseph Meagle, who I consider my what's Mike Tyson's white homie name that kept him through everything?
Costamato?
Yeah. I consider Joseph Meagle my Costamato, this older now, but older Jewish cat who really just gave me all the things tools that I needed as a storyteller. And then he said, you know, you can make a living off of doing this. It won't be easy, but 2008, that first play I knew.
How much in that first production was it natural talent versus learning the actual craft?
That's a good question, brother. I did a collegiate play, right? And so I knew like upstage, downstage, learning techniques and breathing. But a lot of it had to be natural talent for them to really see what I can do, because I had only done 2 collegiate plays before I did my first professional play. Yeah. And so I relied on my God-given gift, but I also was an incredible listener, and I tried to learn as fast as I can. So Joseph Meagle, it was interesting. He's like, if you're open to it, I can teach you. I can show you a lot of these different things. I can teach you how to use your tool, how to breathe, understand your body and your intent, your through line, your inner monologue. And so I had to learn a lot, but just like any other craft, you know, if you can learn it, but you also have a natural gift for it, it'll probably work out a little different.
Now, I went to performing arts high school myself.
Oh, word.
I was in the Boys Choir Harlem. I sang, I
dope.
performed.
Okay, hit a note, cut.
Listen, I've been trying for 7 years podcasting with him to get him to sing on mic. It's not gonna happen.
You know when you know that it's just not me. Like when I was in high school, it was cool. It was kind of like it was like the tool for us. Like the girls liked all the guys that was in the performance
So
choir.
you ain't singing to no ladies right now?
Nah, we ain't doing that. We can go see somebody.
He is acting and pretending to them though. But
Okay. All right.
So when you say you took like lessons and for me, I know the difference between being on camera and then being on stage live, like a Broadway type of thing.
Right.
Was that something that was Broadway for you? Is that more difficult than actually being on camera on a set?
Facts, for sure. And to be honest, I have only proper training in theater that I've had was at a collegiate level. After that, it was all experience, gain professional experience, which I'm an advocate for school, but I didn't finish because it was like getting drafted to the NBA early. It's time to go and get the job done. But stage is definitely requires a different type of endurance.
Yeah.
8 shows a week is not for the weak.
No.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And you got to be able to capture that audience every time. And so for me, my biggest, what I would call masterclass, was a one-man show that I did in New York.
Okay.
90 minutes by myself, 8 shows a week.
Ooh.
Yeah, and end up getting the New York Times Critics Pick for it. Shout out to Howard Kraft once again. It was a show called Freight, The 5 Incarnations of Abel Green, which we now pitching as a screenplay. But yeah, stage requires a different way of using your tool. But theater, and but TV and film it definitely has its challenges.
Since we're talking about the difference of those, I want to ask about like the Broadway culture as far as the audience. It is drastically different than film in that regard.
Yeah.
It's a little more highbrow, bougie.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that a tough genre as far as acting to break through, because it is so much of like the older, I guess, higher income type of audience?
It's older, it's white, and it's very judgmental.
Yeah.
But it's also very open. It's very diverse. Y'all live in New York. It's one of the most diverse places you can be in the world.
Absolutely.
And but like you said, it's that highbrow type of thing. What a lot of theaters have been able to do, shout out to Signature Theater in New York, who I had the opportunity of doing a show with, they make the tickets the same for everyone. And so if you can get a ticket price from, somebody can come all the way from the Bronx, or you got some kid down in Brooklyn who really want to see this show, but they already got to pay to get on the train. They already said they don't got fucking $100 to pay for the show. Now people making tickets $35, $45. So you make it more affordable. And then the work that you're able to come to see is at a high level, for sure, as far as Broadway. But yeah, it's a little bougie. But I think creators like Katori Hall, Dominique Morisseau, the Thoughts of a Colored Man that was on Broadway not too long ago. They're kind of breaking that down and bringing other people into the space.
I mean, do you think, let me ask, is it a conversation amongst the Broadway crowd that plays could die to some degree at some point? Because, to your point, tickets being super fucking expensive.
Right.
The younger generation is more into shit on their phone or just watching TV.
Right.
Then once this generation dies, unfortunately, that loves Broadway, will there be enough people that care or even be interested or have access to it to begin with?
It's another great question, man. It will never die. It's been around since the beginning of fucking time. Yeah. Since before we were born. You know what I'm saying? And so theater just happens to capture a very specific type of audience where that, like my daughter, she loves fucking theater, dog.
Yeah.
Like that's what she wants to do. Like theater, TV and film is one thing, but you have some people who only want to do theater. And it's
like live music versus listening to music from your phone. Yeah,
and it's like musicians who are going to get behind a beat machine and musicians who actually go pick up the keyboard and the guitar and make the vocals, whatever. That's never going to die because it's a craft. Just like pottery is never going to go nowhere. Even you can get a robot to make a pot. Somebody's still going to want to make this with their hands and make do. So theater, for me, I definitely want to go back to it. Shout out to people who are going back, doing Broadway right now. My boy Yaya Mateen and Corey Hawkins, they about to do a show on Broadway. Danielle Brooks and what's Denzel Washington's son name? Pretty Baby. John David, he about to go back and do John David. They about to do piano lessons.
I love the joint that him and Zendaya did on Netflix.
And that's
That was
like
amazing.
a play.
Yeah.
That's like bringing theater
That's like my life.
to screen. You said that's like your life? Oh, shit.
But I kind of
Did
killed
I
him
write
on,
this?
I killed her on Twitter for that. I was like, no respectable black man eat that type of mac and cheese. Like, you know what I'm saying?
very
That
much
was the
Kraft mac and
nastiest-
cheese,
Yeah, that
yeah.
was I was like,
It was
Zendaya,
all
we love you,
bad.
but that was the nastiest bowl of mac and cheese
It's
ever.
all bad, man.
But he's one of my favorite actors too, John David. I think he's super dope. So a lot of people don't know you're a percussionist.
Mm-hmm.
You play the drums, and you said that you used to actually play in Times Square in Manhattan.
Yeah.
I saw a video online, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think early, like when P Valley popped off and I started like checking, I was like, yo, who is this dude? I like him.
Right.
And then I was like, oh, wait, he played the drums. He comes from that different level because that takes a different grind, different hustle, a different type of confidence to sit in the middle of the busiest intersection in the world almost and play the drums, play the buckets.
Yeah.
Is it ever a point where you feel like you want to really, really get back into playing and music?
Every day, bro. Every day, because that was a huge part of my journey. You know, some people to this day be like, yo, I saw you in the fucking streets way before I saw you on PVAC. Like, I gave you $1 like 10 times.
Yeah.
You know, and so shout out to just the grind that New York builds and makes for you, man. I'm not from there, but I'm from there.
Right.
You know, and so I decided to pull out them pots and pans. I saw other people doing it, but I knew as a real drummer, as a percussionist, as a trained musician, I said, I can flip this shit. And if I can make $100 a day, you know, I can survive and take care of myself, make sure I go see my son down in North Carolina and get back and forth to see my pretty baby. You know, she was over in California at the time. So every day I hit that shit, bro.
That's love. You played the pots and pans to come see your baby in the Bay?
And she came out here and see me. She'll be in the subway with me, just standing down there in the cut, you know what I'm saying, chilling. Yeah, and now she got the ring on her finger. She good.
Exactly.
But
you would have played yourself if you ain't put the ring on her finger.
Oh,
That
yeah,
would, you would have been all the way playing yourself. Let me just put that out there.
Yeah, nah, I already know.
She ride with you through that.
It's
You got to
different.
put a ring on it.
It's
You have
different.
to.
And so you know how that shit is. It's dirty. It's hard. The lifestyle down there is different. You got to understand what those people go through. So I had to learn the etiquette of playing down there.
Yeah.
Because a motherfucker come up in you and I'll body you for this spot, bro.
Yeah.
Like I'm here every day.
Right.
I need this spot.
Right.
So you learn what it is, how you can hold ground down there. And I turned it into a lot of different things, man. I end up eventually choreograph, but composing a show at the Lincoln Center, using pots and pans and found sound and oil drums and all this different stuff. So eventually, I tell my wife this all the time. My biggest dream, my biggest goal with that is to be in like one of Beyonce's like music camps. And she like, yo, J Alphonse, what we got on the found sound. I'm over there, you know what I'm saying, getting that shit rocking for her off the pots and pans, but obviously getting my hands on, I can play any drum you put in front of me, I can play it. I can make sense of the piano, and I've had to play guitar on Broadway and stuff like that. So I'm musically inclined for sure. That's why the rapping on P Valley comes so natural and shit like that.
How long did it? So let's fast forward a little bit to P Valley. So this is when, probably to my knowledge, your biggest role, obviously, the most controversial role,
Right.
the role that a lot of people now recognize your face, and you know, the character of Little Murda has created a lot of conversations.
Yeah.
It's created a lot of emotions, and I'm guessing as an actor and as a professional, that's something that you just want to do every time you step on the set and on screen, your character to come across and really live inside of people's homes and everyday lives. Because now Little Murda is a conversation amongst people every day.
Every day.
For you, how long did it take for you when you got the script and you saw the opportunity? Did you have to like go back and forth in your mind to accept that type of role? You know, mentally, how did you prepare for it? The conversations you had with your wife, obviously, about doing it.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many
What was
questions.
the group chat like?
Yeah, like what was the
Group chat like? Yo, I got this script, man.
Yo.
I need
Did
y'all
you send it
invites.
to the bros
Oh,
first?
had to. I got two of my homies. Shout
Cause I
out
ain't gonna lie, if you'd have sent it to me, I'd have been like, we ain't doing that.
Look.
We can't do that.
Look, it ain't for everybody, bro, but it is.
Yeah.
It ain't, but it is. You heard?
Yeah.
And so shout out to my dog Denzel and Khalil, because they say you do what you want to do. And if you believe in that, we here to support you. could we support those people too? We may not be able to do it the way you doing it.
Right.
But we know those people and we support them too. Similar conversation with my wife. Obviously that becomes, show business is a real thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are you willing to show? And then what's the business side of it? So business wise, it has to make sense. And I think, we're going to continue to make sense of what that is. You know what I'm saying? Because when you have an impact on the culture that you didn't know you was going to have before, now it starts to gain a different type of value. So that conversation, being ahead of that, being like, you know what, this character is going to change my life, but change a lot of other people's lives too.
So you saw that within reading the script right away.
Dog, Katori.
That's beautiful foresight.
Well, Katori Hall is not one to play with.
Yeah.
You don't get Pulitzer Prize winners every day.
Right.
It's a lot of fucking content out here. That's
Absolutely.
the thing. A lot of content. But how much? But who talking about your content?
Right.
Whose content is being talked about?
Right.
Anybody can be on a TV show. But is your show gonna stand out? Are you gonna stand out as a character?
It's their actual impact.
Reading that script, I said, oh, this motherfucker gonna stand out. And now I got Katori. I said, I done read 100 scripts, 1,000 scripts. I done been on other TV shows, a lot of them. So that's the thing. I'm one of those familiar, unfamiliar faces. So by the time I get to Katori Hall, I'm like, thank you. Thank you. Now I can show all my range, right? Watch what I do with it. And then we end up turning into something that I didn't even know it was going to turn into. And I had to be open and willing to make sacrifices that I knew was going to be, start a lot of conversation. That I knew eventually I'm going to have a conversation with my son about.
Right.
Yeah.
Eventually, and have him understand what the work is that you go into that as a thespian. You tell stories that are uncomfortable to tell because those stories are going to make uncomfortable conversations and bring people into healing spaces, right? If I can do that and make some money, job done. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a blessing, bro. And my career, it takes a step further because of the risk, you know?
People are probably gonna think I'm trying to be immature or funny, and I'm not.
No.
How did you
be
prepare for that role? Because there's method acting, there's ways to become a character. And again, I'm not an actor. I've just spoken to them.
Yeah, like you can't call a homie and be like, yo, read these lines for me and you gonna practice.
Yeah, like
the homie's gonna be like, yo, fam, I support you, but we not doing this.
Right, no, facts. I'm way past the read the lines with me days. My wife does help me with a lot of my auditions, which now I'm getting direct offers, which is great. But actually, one of my homies did help me with that audition. Shout out to my nigga David Pagram when he was in New York and Harlem. Go look on YouTube and see how many damn views the audition got. And shout out to my dog because he did that with me. And it's funny because he played Uncle Clifford too. And he said the line, he said, don't make me fall the fuck out. It's the way he said, it's the way, go watch the shit, yo. Y'all go run that motherfucker up. It's on YouTube. Yeah. And I did something what's called audition to set. So you see me do the audition and then you see that same scene. But so shout out to David.
That's actually a dope idea to do some shit like that.
Yeah.
Like rehearse it and then actually show it
and then show it on the
that's fire.
How I went from doing the actual audition to now you see where I booked the shit.
Right.
I haven't done all of my shit like that, but I do the big ones because I want people to see it's
the preparation, it's
obtainable. But yeah, that's how I prep for it by just like any other role, breathing and believing, understanding what it is that I'm about to do with the work, right? You know what I'm saying? And so, I'm not about to be kissing on the homies or no shit like that. But I definitely have to have myself in the mind state of understanding what's about to happen. So I know what love is. I know what those feelings and emotions are.
Right.
And so I can have these conversations with people who are close to me and say, damn, it's about to be a tough scene to pull off because I'm not familiar with this, but I know what this is. You know?
It's funny because, like I said, that role is so powerful because the relationships that you have on P Valley, right? With what's homie that came home?
Teak, Big Teak.
Like, it was always the guys growing up that was always like, on edge. And you like, yo, what's up with this? We can't bring him nowhere. He be tripping. We from the same, you know what I'm saying? We from the hood. So we know these type of guys that are just around like, yo, why he always on? So when that relationship comes across on screen, it's like, oh, shit.
It's a different insight. It's a different
like, maybe
insight.
that's what he was really internally...
Yeah, he's angry about something.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
And we know that. We went to high school with Lil Murders.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
We went to high school with Uncle Cliff.
I went to performing arts school. Trust me, I did.
So, and especially up top, and see, I'm from the South.
Yeah.
Where that's sparring in between. but you see it though.
Yeah.
You know, from your homies to your cousins to your family members. And so for me, we always show love because that's what we was taught to do in my household and with the people that I surrounded. Now, don't get it twisted. Did I come from using the F word? Did I come from being one of those people?
Absolutely.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But you got to change your mentality and understand how that really hurts people within a community that you love. Those my homies. Like, that's my cousin. Like, that's whoever.
Yeah.
And so P-Valley was the main reason my second reason for not only storytelling, but I said I'm going to be able to be an ally and have action behind it. It's not like I can just say, yo, nah, that's my dog. Oh, man, it's all good. I love whatever you got going on, you know what I'm saying? But just, nah, bro, I'm here to help tell your story and hopefully help people have a different understanding of it and say, look, love is love. And there ain't no reason for us to trip on nobody unless they tripping on me. Unless you got bringing physical or mental harm to me and my family, why the fuck am I tripping on you? You know what I'm saying?
Now, I'll be honest. The first season I loved. I was on board. The second season, the relationships got more in depth.
It got intense.
I said, J Alphonse about to lose me. I said, come on, man. I can't be in the crib, in the bed watching this shit. Like, what we doing? But I love it because a lot of women, when I told them, yo, we were sitting down with you, their first question was, yo, is he really like that was a great role? Like, is he? So now that's a nod to your acting. First of all, if somebody can't even really tell in real life, like, yo, is he really gay?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, he's actually married with kids. Like, and they're like, really? Like, they don't. I'm like, yeah.
That happens in Atlanta a lot.
Oh yeah. Oh no, God.
Hey,
You
man,
know
it
what
happens
in Atlanta.
it happens all around the world, man.
Yeah.
Married and kids doesn't mean much.
It don't mean much for a lot of people, and I wish it can just mean whatever people want it to mean. If that's your private lifestyle, you make it private. But it's like, as a community, whatever is not for you, sometimes we just gotta. I think, and obviously for me, I'm not gonna act like there's certain things like pedophilia. I'm not fucking with you if you say you.
No, we're not fucking with
I'm
that.
not fucking with that.
Not the
Racism, all types of bullshit. I'm not fucking with that. But if you just tell me that you happen to love the same gender, What? Bro,
I
we
don't
the
care
same
that.
people.
That's why I
man.
think it's weird when guys get offended. I'm like, yo, why are you so offended by that?
Why are you so offended?
Yeah.
Man, it's because the trauma. People have been traumatized by their experience in life. Look what Lil Murda go through. I'm fictional. Imagine what your real homie would go through if he tried to come out. Imagine that. If he just tried to post a picture and he thugging, but he loving up on his homie, dog. Imagine what the fuck he go through with this fictional character's going through. So I'm trying to break that and let people like, man, let your homie be what they gotta be so somebody don't, unfortunately, which has happened, become Big T.
Yeah.
Take their own life
Absolutely.
because they can't be in a space and feel comfortable and be out here. My wife, if she don't mind me sharing, had a loved one take their life because they couldn't be in a space of being comfortable in who they are. As heterosexual men, we don't got to worry about too much.
Right.
We don't. You know
we still have our pressures, but
it ain't.
That's
much.
a whole different type of pressure.
That's a whole different type of pressure. Imagine your homie, and I don't know if y'all know somebody that's close to you that one day you was just like, okay, bro.
Yeah.
Like, we don't got to talk about it, but
I've had that before. Yeah.
I've personally seen that within my family and with one of my homies was like, oh, bro, man, you was looking at homie like, oh.
Yeah.
Or I saw my homegirl came and showed me a picture and said,
yeah.
And she's not trying to out him or nothing.
No.
She's like, yo, did you know?
Yeah,
like, nah, I didn't. Well, he told me.
Right.
Well, you know he not going to be able
You're
to
gonna
tell me.
Yeah, they're not comfortable having that conversation
He's
with
not
us.
comfortable. So that's my thing, bro. It's like, but I feel you, though. If you got to fast forward a little bit, sex scenes can be uncomfortable.
Yeah,
regardless.
it was like, yo, I love the show still. I still think the season was great.
And I appreciate that.
But it was definitely some scenes where I was like, let me just get on my phone while they doing what they
and
do.
guess what? It's supposed to do that. Good art, supposed to make
So
you
I'm
uncomfortable
reading
like that.
Rest in Peace, Michael K. Williams' book right now.
My dog,
that just went out. And it discusses when he was playing the Omar character in those early Wire days. He's like, if we're going to do this, we got to go all the way there. Because Lil Murda, Omar could all be these characters, but if you don't full out see it, it's not going to hit the same.
It don't hit
It's
the
supposed
same.
to feel, I don't want to say uncomfortable if that's offensive or not, but it's supposed to make you be like, whoa, wasn't expecting that.
Change
We
your
know
perspective.
Omar's gay, but now when he's making out with a guy, it hits differently, and that's what's necessary to put in those sex scenes. Like, you need to visually see it for that character to really be like, oh, he is that.
Imagine if I had just played Lil Murda as like a caricature.
Yeah.
If everything I did wasn't authentic. For one, that community would have been offended. And for two, we wouldn't be talking about it the way we're talking about it now. So to be able to breathe and believe in, much love to Michael K. Williams. One of the last pictures I got with him was on the set of P-Valley.
Wow.
He was with my son and my mom, and he had came to holler at us. And I had met Mike, in New York, and always gave him his flowers. Hip-hop head. Out. Mike out here. He'll be by himself, dolo in the club.
You see Mike at a dive bar in New York, just chilling Lower East Side.
Yeah.
Just chilling. And so, shout out to him, man, but he paved the way. And was fearless in his work as well. But that was one of the last picks that I had for him. But yeah, man, you got to be authentic with this shit. In every character you do, anything you've seen me do, I try to bring a certain level of just what I constantly say. It's like that breathe and believe, that sitting in it, where it's just like, this is him. And these people they deserve to be paid homage. You know? Yeah.
I remember reading years ago, Will Smith told him that Denzel advised him not to take the gay role in 6 Degrees of Separation.
I played that role too.
Yeah, Denzel advised him not to do it. Denzel said he thought it would hurt his career. And then earlier this year, Tom Hanks in People magazine said he wouldn't do Philadelphia today due to the inauthenticity of a straight guy playing a gay guy. So I thought that was interesting. Obviously, Philadelphia with Tom Hanks, one of the biggest roles of his career. I believe he won an Oscar for that role.
He did.
And then now you playing what I believe is an iconic role in our culture in television.
My God.
A gay guy.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that, being a heterosexual man playing a gay role?
So, quick, this is something a lot of people don't know. I've actually played a gay role on stage before, which is different. Theater spaces are more intimate. They're different. Your decision making behind those roles are like, everybody's not about to see this. I played Paul in 6 Degrees of Separation. I saw Will Smith's interview where he said he regret not going full and committing out to it. That was one of my inspirations. I said, damn, all right, well,
I gotta go all the way.
I gotta go all out. Then let me do this shit. And I remember, we didn't do it up until the last day of tech. Like me and the homie that had the kid, we kept kissing each other on the cheek. And the director was like, you guys got to kiss. Like, you have to do it. Like, you got to just go for it.
What's that conversation like with him?
It's like, because he was a heterosexual man too. He's like, and it was I forget my homie name, a young white dude.
How many times y'all said pause when y'all was rehearsing?
None, because you in that stage, man, the pause shit is like fucking 13-year-olds made that up. So it's just like, you know what I'm saying?
Unfortunately, we're from New York, so at 40 we say.
Right. But our pops was wearing blouses and shit, man. Niggas was out here in tight-ass pants
heels,
in the club and shit. Like, now we can't do nothing. But niggas was having a great time, fucking bumps and shit.
It was the drugs.
Right, man. The yay, man, stop. Now it's pause. You can't eat a hot dog no more. Nothing, man. Like, damn, no more fun, nigga. Like,
gay people in New York say pause.
Right, nigga, they fucking just
no.
Cookout, nigga. I can't even eat my hot dog. Get out of here. Nigga say pause to me. I say what?
Cute.
Right, I say puppies are cute all the fucking time. Ella Rika, shout out to my girl who played all the night on P-Valley, right? She let us keep her dog for 2 weeks. I fell in love with him. He's a great dog. Great fucking
men
dog.
Can't have any, we can't enjoy anything.
No, shit, unless you want to. That's one thing I'm bringing to the table. It's like, don't let nobody judge who you are, man. Masculine, whatever, you feminine, whatever. And if you go be in danger, you don't want to see that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But on another note, sorry, I got off topic. It was laughing. It was laughing. It was laughing and talking. But on the gay, in 2000,
on the gay shit.
On the note of playing a gay character, right?
Yeah.
I think Tom Hanks' character is different than Lil Murda's character.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? A lot different. So I can understand his perspective on that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was inspired by Will Smith to go full out and play Paul because I said, let me challenge myself as an actor. So by the time it comes to Lil Murda, it's like, well, 9 million people a week might see this. This is different. So show business, the business side, you got to try to make sense of that. And then what are you willing to show? And so I think if I look back on it, I done my part. 20 years from now, I would say I did my job. And I think people know this, people who are willing to work with me and who understand what I'm trying to do next. Little Murda is that role. I think any role going forward is part of a different vibe, different community. And I don't think I will take the risk of doing another large role like that because of what.
That was what I was going to ask you.
I was typecasting.
Would you do it again? Yeah, like would you?
Because
do it
you
again?
played like, is it the Catch-22? You played it too well. Like you are Lil Murda to a lot of people.
Well, I'm glad he's gonna reign for a long time.
That shit is over.
Wait till you see this next shit I do. You know,
Yeah.
wait till you see They Clone Tyrone that's coming out with me and Jamie Foxx and John Boyega and Tiana Paris, and then I got Black Spartans coming up. You know, then Chris Paul.
Yeah.
Now I gotta play Chris Paul.
Right.
Yeah.
He's real, motherfucker.
Right.
And so that's another.
He's still here.
challenge.
He's still running around this motherfucker.
He's still running around this motherfucker.
Yeah.
I've been working on the walking shit, but like that's you know what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, you gotta get because Chris got that little walk.
he got that little walk, nigga. You know he got that walk when he walk off a nigga. It's always a little.
He's from North Carolina as well.
Yeah,
He's from
Wake Forest.
Wake Forest.
Yeah,
Shout
man.
out to Wake Forest. And shout out to the CAC, man. Both of the next two roles I'm playing, I'm representing two gentlemen from North Carolina, Jimmy Ray and Chris Paul. So yeah, I've never been typecast, which is great. Not even in my theater realm, which I've always been blessed to play lead roles. And never typecast, always been able to play different styles, different genres. Yeah.
What's advice to up and coming actors or even current ones of how not to get typecasted? Because that's got to be a tough thing when you get the chance to have such a pivotal role. You could become that role for the rest of your life if you don't play it correctly.
The thing is, nobody can write Lil Murda again. Nobody can do something that the way Katori Hall did it. So I'm blessed for that.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about that. Even if they tried to come close to it, I wouldn't be the guy to play it. But the way to not get typecast, in my opinion, is to be open to playing other things.
Yeah.
Right.
To know that your range can extend, that you can get better every day, that you don't have to settle for just a certain genre or a certain level of work. I feel like there's levels to it.
Yeah.
And so to not get typecast, for one, breathe and believe. That's you always gonna hear me say that. Shout out to my homie Miriam Hyman who taught me that. And then two, remain focused on what it is that you really want to do. How far is it that you want to take your career? How far do you want to go as an actor, director, producer? And don't box yourself in. And then don't do shit that's going to de-escalate your career. That's going to make it go down.
Right.
You know, don't go out here and do a project that it's not going to be a good look for you. And people know what I'm saying. You know, no matter what, if the script's not that good, but you need a little bit of money, you might have to pass on that money and try to find and wait for the other next job. So being patient is key. And then understanding that you got a lot of range within you. You just got to know how to get it out there.
So where are you right now as far as season 3 of P Valley? Have y'all began getting script for it?
Man, I don't know nothing. Just like you don't know nothing, dog.
Okay.
They don't. We waiting, and but I know I've got a strong feeling that we gonna get that renewal real soon.
Oh no, it has to.
It has to.
Can't.
Yeah, but they keep it real. That's any show, man. That's not just P Valley. Most people will tell you these networks keep shit tight, and I get it. It's because there's so many decisions going on, and until you got that final like. Bingo, here we go. This is what we go do. This is what's happening. You know, then they release things out to us and let us know, you know, what's happening. But yeah, right now we don't know anything. And so that's why I'm working on other stuff.
So how about as far as scheduling? If they say, listen, we got the season 3 for P Valley, about to go into production, about to start shooting.
Facts.
But then you got a call for like a Marvel movie or something.
That happens.
Do you pass up on bringing Lil Murda back?
So no, so this is what happens. Stars, they have you in something that's called first position, right? And so you get your projects cleared through them either way.
Okay.
So when you do like individual pickups for next seasons, now you whatever projects you got coming on, you like, hey yo, Jeff, Stars, I got this joint coming up. I got enough time to do it. Yes, you do.
Okay.
Or how can we make it work with the schedule you got going on?
Okay.
And so I've had to pass on some big shit, but they let you know, look, it's gonna be worth it. I promise you. Like this little murder shit.
Yeah.
Just wait on us. Like we got you. And that's what I appreciate about Katori and the whole team over there is that they knew I was passing on opportunities. And so I think they constantly elevated my character, put me in a position where I'm on screen with Meg Thee Stallion. Shout out to the homie. And yeah, man. So you miss out on certain things, but it ain't gonna be that long.
Right.
P Valley ain't gonna be 20 years.
Right.
It's gonna be a couple years of your life.
Yeah.
It'll be worth it to further other opportunities. And I'm blessed to be able to do this movie coming up, another little mini series. So yeah, I'm doing other shit.
Can you speak to the casting of just the entire show of P Valley? Because outside of
Ooh,
obviously
some
the
beautiful
Little
women on that
Murder
set. Jesus Christ.
role, every single character, I feel like there's not even a main character in P-Valley. Every single character has an entire backstory, purpose, main focus, storyline.
That's true.
And it's not a bunch of famous actors or actresses that we knew. Obviously, they have to do things that are usually outside the realm of film, whether that be dancing naked, that you're doing certain sexual stuff. It's not the thespian shit.
Right.
How did they knock that out of the fucking park with every single character? From Clifford to Mississippi.
Every one of the characters can have their own show.
It's fucking amazing. You can do a spinoff with every single character on P-Valley.
You're right. Even down to the smallest ones.
Yes.
Like, they come in the room. So Katori is obviously a huge part of that. She's known Nico for 10 years, like over 10 years, something like that. So Nico Anand, who plays Uncle Clifford, has been riding with her for a long time. But from my understanding, he still had to audition.
Okay.
But he knocked it out the park. Katori came and saw me in a show called Paradise Blue in New York, where I played this trumpet player who was mentally ill. He was fucked up. Dominique Morisseau wrote that. Shout out to her. And Katori said, I want to work with you. So like 7 months later, I saw P-Valley. I shot her an email, and the ball got rolling from there with that. As far as everybody else, I mean, all of us, we all auditioned, but Katori was always in the room. Casting director, shit. Don't give me the line, man. There's so many of them, but to be honest with you, they be going blank for me.
Yeah.
Shout out to the casting directors for P-Valley, but most importantly, I think Katori Hall knew her vision. Yeah. And I think she has a lot of say in who she wants to bring into the room. And it seems like everybody was just perfect for they part. You know what I'm saying?
It does.
Perfect.
It's like, oh, your story, even as who you are as a person, and it's like your journey kind of lines up a little bit with this. Like me being a musician, me being an actor who's always had to play kind of like these dramatic, complex characters, like these heavy roles. Katori saw me and like, y'all think Lil Murda something. This motherfucker Blue I had to play, he was fucked up. Like he was all bad. And so Katori saw me do that on stage and was like, he got it. He can do that. He can see somebody have to take their life in the car and tell that story. And so
the song, the record, did you actually write that? Those are your bars, or did you have?
Man. Shout out to my dog New Money.
Okay.
Shout out to David Fuller, I believe is his name. Shout out to B. Sims and Devin Hitchcock. That's why I don't do that. But shout out to my nigga New Money, Antoine Moore, and he know why for a special reason. So first season, we trying to figure out who about to write these songs, right? They trying out a couple of different people. New Money comes up to me. He's a chef on set. Dreads, thugging. He like, yo, I want to write for Lil Murda, bro. Like, I rap. I was like, where? I was like, yo, spit something for me. I'm going to record you real quick. I record him, show it to Katori, Patrick. They hire him. Take him off the fucking food shit. Put him in the writer's room.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Give him the oop. And now he writing songs for Lil Murda, but he really bout that, though. I can tell. I was like, no, he really cut from that shit. Yeah. Like, he called Lil Baby and them fucking Dominic, their names, nigga. Like, he with them. Like, it's like his little cousin or some shit.
Okay.
But he has a gift, bro.
Yeah.
And I said, man, all you need is the right opportunity, bro. And so most of the songs that you hear, he had a huge influence on them. Shout out to those other writers as well. But
that's fire.
The Meg Thee Stallion verse,
a dope story.
which is my favorite verse, that's all my dog New Money.
What's crazy about that is like, and I don't want to shit on shows like Empire, because I think there were some great records that came out of Empire, but they had the whole music industry working on them shits. And season 1 of P-Valley, one of the biggest surprises was like, oh, this music is good. Like, these could be real fucking records. So I was thinking they were on the same time as Empire. Everyone behind the scenes, the real rappers was working on that shit. So the fact that you say that, and he's coming up with that shit that I think is better than Empire's music.
Hey, man.
When, like,
coming
real
from being
fucking...
the chef on the set?
Chef on set.
That's incredible.
He cold with the bars. Like I said, the other homies, they all, I think, been, ghost pins for a minute doing their own things. But, a couple of these gentlemen, that's what they do. Like, they write for shows and shit, but they not all like big names and well known. And New Money, that was really his first time getting into the ghost writing space. And then for me, when I get in the booth, I just bring my flavor to it. Yeah. All the ad libs, that's all me. And then just add a little the delivery is me.
How much was that difference of becoming the Lil Murda character, but also becoming the Lil Murda rapper? Like, oh, he would deliver it because he's this type of character. He would deliver a rap this way.
It's the same thing, bro. Like going to obviously I bring myself into it and how I would deliver it as a rapper, but not how would Lil Murda do this shit. So even within my tone, that's why even when niggas meet me and shit, it's like, oh, Lil Murda don't sound like, of course, motherfucker, like I don't sound like Lil Murda. Like, that's not how I talk.
I'm acting.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm acting.
Yeah, I don't
There's
wear
cameras and lights over here.
I don't wear gold teeth and all that shit.
Yeah.
And that's him though. That's his style though. So that's how I accept. I'm like, this Lil Murda shit.
Yeah.
This is how he'll do. So when I do pop him in, shout out to I always listen to a lot of Key Glocks of the world, the Black
Shout out to Key
Youngsters,
Glock.
Moneybag, all those cats within that Memphis area.
Yeah.
I would listen to them every day.
Get that slang, get that.
They all got that flat.
Yeah.
They just rocking that shit like it's going. But then I said, well, what can I do to elevate it? What can I do to make people really fuck with this motherfucker? And so shout out to my guys for the pen. But if you was to hear what we call top liners, right? Where it's like they do a little track.
Yeah.
And you hear what it sound like. And then for me, it's like, all right, now I'm going to go in here and put my shit on there. So I'm always been blessed to be able to elevate the tracks. Shout out to Matt Head, my boy Jumper down there, and our 2 engineers and our music supervisor down in Atlanta. So yeah, it was easy to, not easy. It was a process. Katori is very particular. You have to do that song fucking 20 times if she.
Does Katori have all the publishing?
No, she does not have all the publishing. We what we did is everybody get their little deal. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Stars for him. Shout out to my lawyer for making that happen on my team. You know what I'm saying? So I've been blessed to get a little deal. But it's a lot of people that goes into these things, and so everybody got to be blessed and be a part of something.
I wanted to ask, since we're on the publishing topic, because I don't know much about the actor world. I know, of course, we know actors get fees to get paid.
Facts.
But is there any type of back end percentage? How does a standard actress contract usually go?
So you have what is called a union. So you have the SAG-AFTRA union, which if you're going to be on a show like P-Valley and playing a role at the level that I'm playing it, you have to be part of that union. And so the dope thing about Atlanta is that it's a non-union work state. You don't have to be a part of a union to work in Atlanta. So that's a dope thing about that. But to play the role, like I said, I'm playing, you have to be part of this union. So what that union does is make sure that you get paid a certain amount.
And who is like the Jimmy Hoffa of the SAG?
Shit. Right. And that's
I'm really asking.
Right. So,
I'm not even
the
joking.
thing about Jimmy Hoffa is you ever heard of the trucks, right? What's the shit that he had?
Teamsters.
Teamsters. Yeah.
So they do all the TV shit till this day.
Oh wow. Okay.
Gangster shit. Mafia shit.
When you come out your trailer, most likely it's gonna say Teamster on that motherfucker. Most likely. And so he has his union, which is crazy. I don't know who's that person for SAG.
Yeah.
But they shout out to them though, because they make sure we get that bread on time. And so you get your fee, which is negotiated with you and your team. Everyone's fee is not the same. Some people, but the great thing about the industry now is that a lot of more inclusion has been happening. Women are now getting paid the same amount as men.
Good.
And black actors are working our way up to getting paid what white actors are getting paid. And so you get your contract, you work out your deal, and then you get residuals. And so SAG-AFTRA, they make sure that you get them residuals. They go track them down.
Yeah.
They send them to you. It's mailbox money. Sometimes it's fucking 10 cents. Sometimes it's $7,000.
Right.
And so it's funny. Shout out to my dude who played Rufio back in the day. He do this joint on his Instagram where he show you his residual check. He be like, all right.
Rufio from Hook?
From Hook.
That's
I
crazy.
forget my man's name, but that's my favorite movie though. But he do this joint where he's like, okay, I can get McDonald's today with this check.
Yeah.
And then he'll show something. Okay. Yeah. I might be able to go, so it's
take a little vacation.
It's
I heard
money in your
there's
sleep.
A bar by Van Nuys, I think. If you walk in with a cent residual check as an actor, they'll give you free drinks for the day.
Right.
Yeah, like if you only get 1 cent off whatever you did, but you have to make 1 cent.
Yeah, that's hard. I got a couple of them. I got to bring that in there. Yeah.
I saw the headlines happening with Elarica, who plays Autumn on the show.
Yeah.
Said she's not coming back for season 3. Was that something you knew? Was that something that was discussed amongst the cast, or?
It wasn't discussed amongst the cast at first. I don't think everybody knew. I think Elarica probably decided to tell who she wanted to tell. We all close, like I was saying. But yeah, man, it's bittersweet. You know, you want to see people obviously flourish and do other things, but you want to keep the family tight and keep people around. But I wish nothing but the best for Elarica. Shout out to Elarica. She we're kind of like her guide dog parents. When she go to London, she let us keep her little dog Biggie, and he's wonderful. He's great, cute ass dog that we like to have around every now and then. But Elarica made a decision that I think is best for her.
Yeah.
And I think you have to do that in this industry.
Her storyline was great too.
Storyline is great.
Was really almost even appeared like in the beginning she was going to be the main character, and then everything changed.
Yeah. Katori has a way of making sure that everybody has a storyline. Okay. Yeah. Everybody's storyline is pivotal, even down to the smallest character like Toy, right? Where
she's gonna be out of season 3. Her story is crazy.
About to go nuts, right? Like, and then some of these new characters that we get, like Roulette and Psalm's character Whisper. So there's a lot of dope characters. And so although we'll miss Autumn Night, I think there's other storylines that can still continue to carry P Valley. And I think that I was about to fuck up and say the wrong name, but Elarica is going to have a great career.
Oh, for sure.
She's super talented. And she's already, I know a lot of people know her for P Valley, but she has a lot of Harry Potter fans. She got a lot of fans prior to that for other projects that she's done. So she's going to continue to do great work.
Well, it's funny you bring up those characters. Does Katori have any background within the strip club culture? Because the strip club culture is a very big genre, if you will. That is not just dancers at all. It's a whole world. Because we were talking about Lil Murda's character and what he represents and T and everything. I feel like she humanized the strip club.
Right.
She brought every single point that could bring somebody to a strip club.
Facts.
And that backstory.
Yeah.
So does she have any history in that? Like, to write that, I feel like you have to know every last detail of whether it is abuse from your childhood, whether it is just a lick to make some money, whether it is some shit you hiding and you feel like you could be accepted in this place. Like, that's such a depth in the strip club that I just don't think people understand.
Yeah. She's from the South. She's from Memphis. She's really from that place. If you hear Katori talk, if you ever seen her, she is full of that. Like, when I see Katori, I see P Valley. I'm like, damn, she, and then me just going down to like Alabama a couple weeks ago, I was like, damn, P Valley really be onto some shit. Like, I grew up in North Carolina, and the part of North Carolina I grew up wasn't that political, wasn't that Southern like the way the South is. Chuckalissa is the fictional place. But I think Katori, she has a lot of influence coming from where she grew up. She grew up in the strip club culture. She's never been a dancer from my knowledge or understanding, but she knows dancers. She's had real experience with them, done tons of interviews with them. And so she's done her homework, but also she just writes what she hears. That's the type of writer. I consider her one of the August Wilsons of our time, where she writes it the way she hears it. That's what he did. Like, when you read his scripts, it's like, damn, that's how they talk in my barbershop. Well, that's how they talk down here. So, she's really good at that.
I think a lot of people don't, when we say strip club culture, we know what it means. A lot of people that don't just think, all right, you go into the titty bar to throw cash. Like, no, it's a real community. Like, people make fun of us when we say, yo, strip club has the best food. And when you hang out there, you really get to know people, and the amount of fucking stories
everybody
that
goes
lead,
to the strip club.
like even down to Mississippi's character in season 2, when we got her whole backstory, came from privilege, money type of shit. You do meet that type of stripper too. Absolutely. Not every stripper is somebody that was poor and just had to do whatever the fuck. It's so many different ways that people, not just dancers, down to Clifford, down to a bartender, down to the customer, down to a character like Lil Murda, where he'll feel more accepted in that environment than anywhere else. Like, I don't want to use lost, I think is the wrong word, because it could come across demeaning, but people trying to find themselves just go straight to the strip club because it is the place that you get accepted the most. As much as it's the most judged, probably, occupation, it's the least judgmental place to some degree when you get there.
And I love that shit about the strip club too. You go to especially the good ones like Magic City, they gonna have a DJ that's talking shit. Like, if you're not throwing no money, man,
they call you out.
They call you
Listen,
out.
I've talked to strippers and I've talked to women that are in corporate. When they come home, they have the same exact catty conversations. There's no difference. Like, it just humanizes the strip club to me. P Valley really showed
etiquette to it, man.
Yeah.
You got to know how to tip That's what I've learned to respect from P Valley is that for one, you got to respect what it is that they doing on that pole. That's some athletic, some shit that you can't even really describe.
Yo, is Roulette doing all of those? Because I love her from Snowfall.
All of them have doubles. All of them also have experience on the pole as far as being trained and working and doing. So most of the dancers on P Valley, all of them do a lot of that work. But they also, just like you have a double for a fight scene or something like that, you have doubles come in and do that work. And so I think some of them could probably do all the routines, but it's like you got to do that 5-6 times.
It's tired.
You tired. Now you can't even act out the rest of the scene or do the rest of your work that day. So shout out to the body doubles, but also just the girls who put in that work.
Mercedes, ooh.
Brandy, man. Brandy is a monster, yo. Shout out to my homie Brandy Evans.
Yeah.
She definitely put in a lot of work. Being, just a dancer background, but not a pole dancer.
Right.
But she was willing to kind of go all the way there. When she climbed up to the top, a lot of those scenes, that's her. Yeah.
How obviously her boyfriend being on the show, but the Miracle Watts aspect being brought in, do you know how that develops? Because I know y'all are not in any scenes together, if I remember.
We don't have any scenes together. Yeah, I had one scene with Tyler this year that was crazy. It was like in and out, and I was snapping in that scene. But Miracle, which is dope, I think, addition to the cast.
I agree. She's great.
She did her thing. Obviously, she has a background within that world and bringing her wisdom to it and what she could to the role. Katori fuck with her. And I don't know if her and Tyler was dealing with each other prior to that or what, but they obviously it make sense, what I'm saying, that they developed a relationship that they have. And it's just dope, to see it off screen and on screen. It's like, oh shit, that's hard. So shout out to them for, finding that, but also bringing that chemistry on set where it's like those scenes were dope. One of my favorite scenes is when they light the cigarette at the same time. I don't know if people peep that, but when they first meet each other, they light the cigarette at the same time, but it goes focused to Miracle. And it stays focused on Tyler actually. You see Miracle kind of in the background, her little flick. And it's just hard. And then they had a conversation about them leaving. So I think that addition was great. We saw how it ended.
Shit.
Seen she had to put my man in the trunk.
Yeah. Put a blade in his rib cage.
Right. So now I'm anxious because I don't even know. I'm like, yo, what's about to happen? Like, I want to see what's gonna happen with that storyline in particular. But damn, what's so dumb?
I didn't see that. That was a curveball. I didn't see that coming.
That's
the way they kept showing her looking and all. I was like, it's something it's fishy about her.
Something ain't right.
But I wasn't expecting that.
You weren't expecting that. Same thing. When we was reading, I was like, something ain't right with her. But oh shit, it's one of them moments. But it was dope.
Now that your wife is not here, have any of y'all done what he did and pictured Mississippi when he was fucking another girl?
Look at you, dog. No,
Shannon,
look,
she's beautiful.
my wife is right down there. She still can hear us. But look, I have told
I was
her,
joking, by the way.
with you. I've had that conversation though. Yeah, back in the day, man, I done had a situation where you would have John and then you picture somebody else. It's a real thing. And it just don't. So until you find your one, that's probably ain't gonna happen. But that happens. That happens, folks. It's not that she wasn't making that up. Katori ain't the only person that thought about that. Her writer's room.
Right.
That shit happens. But it was fucking with Diamond, though. It really sent him in a different place. I love that storyline, too. Diamond in Mississippi. Yeah. And, like, that shit complex, man. Her whole relationship with Derek and not pulling the gun, all of that.
Somebody got to kill him already, man.
Somebody might have to buy this.
What's up, man? We'll go do that.
They might have to. Fentanyl murder was very easy.
I went. I love Jordan, the actor who plays Derek. Incredible.
Yeah, he seems like he's a great guy.
They asked Lil Murda to go body Derek. Sign me up.
On your way.
He plays an amazing asshole. Like he's just a dick.
Oh my, I hate that fucking guy.
And then he's the nicest guy you ever met.
Yeah.
It's always them type of characters. Like when you meet him, hey Alphonse, how you doing, man?
Yeah,
like, just the nicest guy. Give you a hug and shit. Like.
Yeah,
dope,
but
man.
deep down inside, like you're an asshole.
Yeah,
you got a little something, but all of them, all the characters on P Valley, when you meet them in person, are probably like 100% totally different than the actual character.
Yeah.
Nico does not cross dress or wear wigs and nails in his daily life. He's also 6'5" and from Detroit.
Right.
And it's like, you don't want to mistake this guy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Make a Clifford joke if you want.
Yeah, don't let the nails in the hair and shit fool you. Like, bro, that can happen to you.
Get yourself slapped.
You can get yourself slapped today. So everybody's pretty different than their character, but everybody brings something to it, man. All the characters bring
Great
something to
storyline.
it.
Yeah, definitely a great storyline.
Nah, for sure.
Do you think? Well, how does that work with streaming? Because I could understand you would get residuals, like say if you were on a sitcom and it kept playing on TNT or whatever. How does that work with streaming? Because we're paying a fee to stars. How do they calculate that? Because TV and streaming are now different.
Shout out to all the streamers, but they also getting a bag off of that shit, right?
It's weird how music and film is
they
matched now
getting
with
a
streaming.
bag and it's not equal. You know, you're not getting what you probably may deserve. And I'm sure even some of them trying to figure it out at the top, like, wait a minute, who's getting what? You know what I'm saying? So streaming services make a lot of money. And there is, from my understanding, no thing out there right now that just says you get a certain amount off the streams or the residuals.
Yeah.
They write it within your contract that you get, some of them don't even give you residuals, but most, like you said, the Blue Bloods of the world and the Chicago PDs and those type of shows where they're on national TV, you're gonna get residuals pretty often, and they do really well at paying those residuals, those networks. The Netflixes and the Stars of the world, you get residuals, and sometimes they come in like lump sums, you know what I'm saying? Big lump sums, which is dope. Because you go a couple months and not see nothing, but then all of a sudden you got 30 bands coming in the bank, you know what I'm saying? And so residuals are nice to have, but as far as like how much we actually deserve and own or do, owe, I think they still figuring that shit out. But I'm not complaining.
It's interesting because we've talked about with music how maybe it should be separated, because if I sign up for Apple Music and only listen to one specific artist, they should probably get more of a cut from my $10 than now. I signed up for Stars, mainly, they have movies on there that I like, but for the most part, I signed up for Power, P-Valley, and Raising Kanan. That's really all I watch on Stars. So I don't know if my $12 should be go across the same.
1 cent everywhere.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel like it should go directly to P-Valley, because you have the data that sees that's what I watch. I don't watch nothing else on there.
Sound like you might need to get a job over there at Stars.
Sounds like I would never take one.
It sounds like they might need to hit your line and put you on some consultant type shit, because I've never.
I would have them
like
lose
that.
money.
Yeah,
because I'd go for the actors and what they need.
Right, but but we need something like that though, and I think people fight for those type of platforms, obviously, to get their bread. Shout out to the homie from who did the show on HBO, the girl who she was like she wasn't selling her show unless she could own it. I forgot the name of it. You remember I'm talking about, Pretty Baby? That's right.
Tidal did that.
Shout out to Jay-Z.
They also pay the most out as far as streams go.
We didn't support Tidal enough.
Really?
The culture we did not support
we
Tidal
didn't.
enough.
She had it since day one.
Yeah.
So you over
I
there
still
with
have
The
Tidal.
Rock? I heard you talking.
That's my family.
That's your family
that's
over there.
family. Yeah, that's
okay.
Tidal made the mistake of their marketing plan when it was launched, because they put a bunch of millionaires and billionaires on stage and said, "Boo-hoo, we not getting paid enough." And we was like, now, while they were right, I agreed with them, but as the average consumer, that's not going to make me want to give you $12.
You right.
So it was like, wait, hold on. I'm looking at Hove. What's the dudes that wear the masks and shit? Why am I blanking?
He wears masks.
They're Daft Punk. Daft Punk is up there.
Yeah.
I think everyone was there when that first happened.
And they all,
I think so.
And it was a brilliant idea that each of these artists had actual stake in it, and they could do exclusives and just go through that. It's just how they marketed it. They thought the average consumer was going to be like, "Oh, I need these millionaires to make more money. I feel bad for them." It's like, dog, now $12 is a lot for me. That's lunch.
Hey, $12.
I need that shit.
$12 every month with all the other subscriptions, it adds up, man. But shout out to Tidal. I think what Apple did is they just made it convenient. It's like, as soon as you turn on your phone, we're gonna put this little app right here. That way you can, and now you pay this $9.99 a month, and you have everything.
Their strategy was brilliant to make the hardware that we all have to buy, and then every app after that was convenience. It's all convenience.
When you got the iPhone years ago, the podcast app was already on there. I didn't even know what the fuck a podcast was back then.
Right, and it's on there now. You can just go listen to your shit. Y'all ever seen Mr. Robot?
Yes.
So I had a little recurring role on season 2 of that. But doing that show, the play on it a little bit was like, everything is everywhere. Like these motherfuckers, these Apple motherfuckers, look, we all got one.
Yeah.
I got 2 of them.
Addicted to it. Our whole lives is on it.
Your whole life on it.
This is the Black Mirror. Remember the show Black Mirror? This is the Black Mirror.
That's it. And so it's just like Apple kind of had the up on all the other platforms where it's like, oh yeah, the Spotifys and the titles of the world, you got to download that on your damn Apple phone. Mm-hmm. And so it's like now you got all 3 of them. But my wife, she's an avid user of Tidal. I will say it has its advantages. Yeah, you know,
sure. It's a better streaming service, period. Too.
It's hard. Like you look at it, it's hard. Like the animation shit they have on there, and then you know, a lot of Black people got stake in it. So it's dope.
So as far as J Alphonse, what's your life like? Like how has your life changed with the success of P Valley? As far as like, you know, your time and being with your wife and kids and you know, it's good to be busy.
Always.
But it also affects other areas.
Yeah. The dope thing about my lifestyle is that it's been pretty consistent for the past 15 years. I've always been away, but I always come home. I'm always working. So to see my son, I got to go to North Carolina at least twice a month. Okay. When I was in New York to come see my fiance, now wife, I had to travel back and forth to California 3-4 times, once or twice a month if I could. She would have to travel to me. So we're used to that. My son's used to me being on the road, you know what I'm saying? So that hasn't changed. What now has changed is like, oh, damn, daddy famous now. Like when you go out, you can't just be hanging out and everybody want to take pictures and all those things. My work ethic is still the same. You know, that ain't changed. Since day one, I'm kind of just like, nah, I need to make at least 500 M's off of storytelling. And now I'm on the cannabis thing where it's just like, that's a whole different journey and wanting to push that. So the grind is still the same, but the protection is different. You know, my wife, she once said to me, and I say this before, what type of provider you want to be? You know, can you take care of things? Like, well, you got to make that up in your mind. And so when you have more and you can provide more, who are you going to provide for? Don't start providing for every fucking body. All your cousins and your friends is hitting you and shit, and you doing that.
I made that mistake.
Yeah. Hey, listen, you start doing that, you can find yourself going down a rabbit hole, and so you got to make some tough decisions and ignore some phone calls and shit like that. But other than that, dog, it's just like same grind. But also having that mentality as well. Well, shit, yeah, if I got 100 M's, I guess I can float my cousin a little something. Right. Like, let me get to the point where
you gotta get the head down,
can't
work
float
hard.
you a little something.
You can't see each other as much as you want to, as far as friends and homies and
But they see you on Stars and assume you have 100 M's.
Yeah, right. They see you on Stars.
Like, nah, man, I don't.
No, I don't. And shout out to Sydney Sweeney, I think. Right, she was saying, I think the actress from Euphoria. She was like, yo, I'm still like this lifestyle that we have to provide for ourselves as actors, and you might have to have a crib in LA. You might have to have one in it's expensive. Yeah. And so it's not as glamorous as you all think it is. It's like, no, you have to work a long time to get to a certain spot, or you just have some very sweet moments. And I'm far from not having anything, and I'm blessed and I'm grateful for all the opportunities, but I'm far from where I want to be.
And even you were saying with the process of sometimes you have to pass on roles because it's not better for your career, even if you need the money. Sometimes you don't know when the next check is coming. So I got a budget, even if I just did P Valley, I got a budget because I'm not quite sure if the next move makes sense yet. So I might have to take a year to find the right one, and I won't have any income.
And I don't have any shout out to these people who bring me to these appearances, man. Shout out to the other brand.
Yeah, I seen you doing club appearances. I'm like, wait, so are you going as J Alphonse?
Always.
Or is it Lil Murda? Because they paying for Lil Murda.
We put both on the fly. Okay. And the great thing about what this season has done for me.
How do you write that off on your taxes?
Oh man, listen, man. You shouldn't even said nothing, man.
My bad. No, it's all charity. It's all nonprofit.
I'm giving that away, man.
I can promise you in the P Valley world, Lil Murda has never paid his taxes.
No. Lil Murda, he don't pay no goddamn
I can tell you, everyone on that show has never paid his taxes. It's a cash business.
Look, man, down in the valley, they ain't paying no damn taxes.
And they shouldn't.
But J Alphonse Nicholson, I've paid all my taxes.
As you should.
You know, my lawyers and my accountants.
You paid extra.
Yeah, I pay a little extra, so they send me something back.
Right,
you know
exactly.
But yeah, man, shout out to the people who are constantly booked. I've been blessed now to kind of stay steady and have a little bit of project here or there. And but pandemic was real.
Yeah.
You know, that
And y'all
shit.
shot season 2 during the pandemic.
We came back towards the end of it.
Okay.
We was on the tail end of it, but during it, I'm like, oh shit. You know, I'm like, damn, baby, like, I'm gonna have to pull the buckets out this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't think I would, but
Bucket's still in the garage.
oh, they still at the crib. They there. One day I'm gonna get them like gold plated, and at the bottom I'm gonna say, you ain't even know. You ain't even know. Y'all don't really know what the fuck I had to go through to really even sit here with Mal and Roy on this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different.
Yeah.
Like, so, you know, as far as managing your money, Octavia Spencer told me when I worked with her, God bless her, we did Self-Made on Netflix. She said, Alphonse, always live below your means.
Yeah.
She said, don't ever get out here and, you know, be trying to live above your means and buying all the fly shit. Yeah, you can pop out sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, you can do certain things.
Have a little
but
fun sometimes.
Have a little fun, but
Don't make it a lifestyle.
don't make it a lifestyle, not as an artist.
Yeah.
Now, if you're a millionaire and you're constantly making millions and millions of dollars,
That's
live however the
different.
fuck you want
that's
to live.
different. Yeah.
But until you get to that point, you know, live below your means and understand, like, yeah, you might have to throw 100 bands in the trash. It's a script.
Right.
They offered you, damn, this ain't the one. Fuck. It's 100 bands in the trial. I said that to my wife. I said, baby, this $100,000. This
It's not right though.
big. It ain't right.
Yeah.
You got to make smart decisions, man. That's like somebody coming up to y'all and be like, hey, y'all come do this show down here at with the KKK, man. See if you guys want to.
Right.
Yeah.
We ain't
like
doing that.
what?
Yeah, we ain't
But no, well, we got $1 million for you, Rory. Come on, man.
Yeah, no.
I think I'll pass.
What the fuck? look,
I think I'll pass on that.
I
Busy that weekend?
I am, yes.
I'm busy on that, right?
yeah,
It's like certain
I'm
money.
booked up with the Proud Boys that weekend.
Yeah, look. This cat, man. See,
I have to storm the Capitol that day.
I gotta get out of here, man. This shit is not gonna make me be a better artist, and show business wise on that business side is not gonna show, my entity will not look well on the face
And
of
it's
this.
painful because Maul and I, we publicly went through turning down more money than we had ever seen.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It makes sense for us. We got to leave.
Yeah.
Even after that, the deals we got, and I love our partner with Stitcher and Sirius, but there was bigger offers than them. They made the most sense, but Maul and I had those conversations like, all right, let's just throw these M's in the fucking trash.
But it's but it's fucked up because a lot of people don't have the luxury of being able to negotiate from that point where you can turn down $100,000 and be like,
Fact.
You know, some people at a point in their life where they're like, nah, I got to.
I've
take it.
I've taken bags that I shouldn't have taken, but I needed to take it. I'm not above that shit.
Man, a
We've
couple
all done
years,
it.
man, go see 2 movies I did, man. I ain't gonna talk about them. But hey, listen, man.
I'm gonna go dig it. You gonna tell me off camera? I'm gonna go watch it. Like, yeah, I can tell.
You go see some shit, man. Like, what the fuck was this man thinking, man?
Yeah.
Boo, tomato, man. Get this motherfucker out of here.
Needed it though.
I needed it. I needed it
It's funny that
bad,
actors
bro.
go through that type of shit like
you
that,
go through that shit. So
Yeah.
I needed it bad, man. But now I'm blessed to not have to make that decision. And it's just like, everybody don't have the luxury of doing that. And then sometimes I be having to remind myself that I do.
Yeah.
Because I get itchy, like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. I'm the captain of the ship. Everybody go, I'm gonna tell them what we go. My wife like, baby, you're not about to do that.
Yeah.
Like, that's gonna come out. You're not gonna be proud of it. And so you be smart about your decisions, man. But at the same time, tuck your bread away. But also figure out other ways to make money. I'm a storyteller, yes, indeed. I want to make a lot of bread off of it. I want to change a lot of lives doing that. But I got other shit that I'm doing. Cannabis will be my retirement. I believe in the medicinal purposes of what the smoke is.
Absolutely.
I know you understand what that is. We don't smoke just to get high no more.
No.
It's like I need that. Keep my anxiety straight. Keep my thoughts. Keep these emails from going crazy.
Right.
And whatever other ventures I might have. Shout out to my boy Brandon McKay Hearn is out here from Broccoli City. We got a company called Sanctuary Deliverance.
Okay.
We starting to do some producing and directing and pitching our own projects now. So on that page too.
Who's the one actor that you can't wait to have that one scene with, where you know this is gonna elevate my shit into a whole nother? Because it's always that one scene. I feel like the guy, and I hate that I forget his name. He played in Equalizer 2.
Oh yeah, my young boy. What's his name, baby?
I forgot his name. He played in the Wu-Tang series.
Ashton.
What's his name?
Ashton.
Asher.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to butcher his name. I think he's phenomenal. I think
he's
one of
great.
the next Asher
Asher
Sanders.
Sanders.
I
Thank you,
believe he's
brother.
one of the next great actors. his scene in Equalizer 2 in the hallway with Denzel, when Denzel was pulling him out of the projects, he was upstairs with the gang.
Yeah.
To me, that was the scene where it elevated him. You could see Denzel kind of saying,
Facts.
I see you.
Yeah.
I see greatness in you. Who's the one actor that you can't wait to have that moment with, if it's not Denzel?
Obviously Denzel.
Obviously,
right? Obviously everybody wanna work with Denzel. I've been blessed to work with some dope people, man, from Octavia Spencer to David Allen Greer, who people don't know.
Legend.
As a stage actor, he's very drops into his shit. Like, fuck
Underrated
the comedy
comedian,
shit. Comedy, he kills that.
Yeah.
But the drama,
Yeah.
insane. Blair Underwood, another great guy. As far as my peers, MBJ, you know, we had a dope moment on Just Mercy. 5 minutes that changed my life. A lot of my opportunities came from that. So shout out to Just Mercy, shout out to Jamie and MBJ. And now I'm just looking forward to more moments like that. I'm about to have one, right? So playing Chris Paul, my first scene is with Lawrence Fishburne.
Ooh. Who's he playing?
Doc Rivers.
Oh, shit.
Ooh.
And so that's like, shit. All right.
He's one of those. He's one of the
ones. So you better come correct. You better be ready that day, boy. You better not play. And so that's kind of what my
play Austin
Rivers
is.
Look. Somebody's playing Austin Rivers too. They got Austin on there. I forgot. They got
Austin's in the show?
I think he is. We got a little lineup. You know, me. They got the Blake Griffin cat. My boy Saronis is playing
That's my
Matt
guy.
Barnes. Yeah, you know, and all them cats.
Saronis is perfect for Matt Barnes. Holy shit. I didn't even know he's playing there.
He playing that, and they
That's my
all
guy.
tall, like them cats, like really ball and shit. I got to work. I'm getting my shit together. It's like he can act. He can make it happen.
Kenny Ball.
Kenny Hoop. Kenny Hoop, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, on first day, I'm over there. Yo, pass me the rock.
Yeah.
So, but I'm looking forward to working with Lawrence, man, and then, Nicole Bahari. Wonderful
Incredible.
actress, man. Like with her scenes, me and my wife was talking about it the other day. She's just one of those actors that you gravitate towards on the screen. She does what I like to do, is like breathe and believe. It's all there. Man, I worked with my boy Mac Wiles, Sanaa Lathan. I done worked with some dope people, man. So I'm blessed to work with some legends.
Well,
but I want to keep working with more.
To talk to Sanaa Lathan about ball. She could train you.
Well, that's right. She did get her balling skills up in
She
there.
got in super shape for that role.
She did.
And
So
she was balling in there.
yeah.
Like
The good thing about CP is he ain't really too.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. I don't got to get too cut up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he do got hella endurance.
his handle might be difficult.
His
to
handle is
Out of this
different.
world.
Bring in the stunt double.
Yeah, for that.
Let him get
Bring
me
him
right.
in. Who
Bring
else could
CP.
do it?
Yeah.
If you can. If he down, bring him in.
Right,
Because
right.
I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm going to let them know right now. I'm going to do my best.
Right.
But, you know, what I'm doing is the good thing about the series is that they really get into the nitty gritty. You see some of the court shit, but you seeing like behind the scenes.
And this is the LA Clippers Donald Sterling
LA
story?
Clippers Donald Sterling series focused on the Mistress V, who really, you know, captured a lot of horrible shit he was saying about the team. Shout out to her for really, stirring up the mix, that pulling the carpet back that had to be pulled back.
Yeah.
But he was saying some hateful things about these players, and unfortunately he lost his team. So they telling that story about it.
No, fortunately he lost.
Yeah,
his team.
fortunately he lost his team.
I'm curious what because they, not to say they buried that, because it was a huge story, but it did disappear pretty fucking quickly.
Oh, yeah.
It did.
And there's a reason.
Yeah. And now it's
A
about
lot
to
of
come
those
back out.
owners are very, that's their crew.
They're like, well, you got caught,
So,
we didn't.
yeah.
Like that type of shit. Yeah.
It's a lot of that. Shout out to the people who's bringing this story to the forefront and really wanted it to be told. And man, like when I read the script, I was like, damn, I didn't even know about this. Like he was out here calling players niggas and shit. And don't bring niggas to the game. And like, what? It's like, what are you talking about? You own a team full of black players. What are you talking about? And so hearing the story, but understanding who had a movement in it, CP3, shout out to CP3, dog. He wasn't having none of that. Like he was really on the protest. Like, no, we got to stop. Like we don't care about the checks.
He was.
We're not doing that. And so a lot of the, Black Lives Matter movement that was happening within the NBA came from CP3 and his side of things.
Did you get a chance to kick it with him yet about the?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. I hope I can, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
a lot of
I'm
people.
sure he
I'm sure he.
for sure.
Me and Matt just produced a little short film
Okay.
a couple months back. So I got a chance to chop it up with Matt.
Shout out to Matt Barnes.
Shout out to Matt
Great guy.
Barnes.
He's big in the cannabis industry too.
Big, all the smoke. Shout out to him and my dog.
Him and Stack Jacks.
Stack Jacks. Yeah. So, yeah, man, I want to work with some great people, but I just want to continue to leave my mark as well. And hopefully people...
But nah, you definitely doing that, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, you, Asher, like y'all are the guys that I'm just like,
shout out to Asher. He cold.
Yeah, I love
One of my
him.
favorite scenes was in Moonlight when he's sitting there in the principal's office and he just quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And the principal saying something to him, and he's just like, man, you don't even know.
Right.
And he break down, he get fucked up. I'm a very emotional guy, so even watching the scene, I'll cry right now thinking about the motherfucker.
Right.
But I cry watching that shit, and I'm sitting there with my wife, and then it was just a cold movie, but I knew right then, like, damn, that dude, he got something about him. He got that raw talent about him. You know what I'm saying?
Really, really dope.
Yeah, I love to work with that brother. Another peer, Daniel Kalula, man.
Mm-hmm.
He been showing me mad love.
Mm-hmm.
He done invited me to like 3 events over the past couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And he's solid, bro.
Yeah.
He's solid. He like one of us. If y'all ever get a chance to have him on the show, you go sit down.
I would love to.
Yeah.
B can make that happen.
Yeah,
but y'all
sure.
sit down, you go be like, oh shit, he from the pond, across the pond, but he like, yo, what's up, bro? Like, how can we really set this shit off? You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I
good
like
people.
him too. Really, I'm a fan of his.
I have a 2-part question. Because I guess we could do this for another 3 hours. I'm chilling. I got nothing to do. 2-part question. Because you've taken on some pretty dramatic roles, even the stuff you were telling us with Broadway, with the trumpet player and everything, how do you separate the character and then going home to family? I was, when Many Saints in Newark came out, I know, what's Tony Soprano? Rest in peace, the actor that played Tony Soprano. Shit.
My wife knows his name. We was just talking about him. The actor that played Tony Soprano. James
Gandolfini.
Yeah.
They were interviewing his son, and
Can I get
his
that
son was
water
like,
right there?
I didn't really watch Sopranos. My dad wouldn't let me because he didn't want me to think when I was at home that the
That was
character
him.
Tony Soprano existed in that household. So he wasn't really allowed to watch that shit. How do you separate that with family and when you're really trying to get into a role?
So
And did you stunt on your wife and be like, yo, I'm a rapper now?
right. I tell you about that conversation. Like, nigga, no, you're not, motherfucker. You're not.
I don't know who you think you are today.
Right. But you ain't no goddamn
And you have
rapper.
ghostwriters.
Thank you, brother. Right. And you're not even writing the shit. Like, relax, nigga. Like, but it's all like Beyonce don't write her shit. A lot of people don't. She writes some of it.
Yeah.
But it's so many, you start to learn like, damn, it takes a team to really make this
everything.
shit fire.
Literally
So
everything.
I felt more comfortable doing that because that was a thing at first. And I started looking at people's shit like, oh shit, it's 10 motherfuckers on here.
Yeah.
Anyway, preparing and coming down. Cannabis has been one of my vice, you know, as far as like winding down from what as Blair Underwood taught me, your neurological system does not know it's fake. When you're acting, your brain's not smart enough to be like, oh damn, I'm looking at a fake body today. Nah, that shit think it's real. You see that motherfucker putting that gun up to his head, your body's starting to, if you're really breathing and looking at him and taking it in, you're gonna start to respond to that. As an artist, you can't be afraid of that.
Okay.
You can't be afraid to go there, and at the same time, you got to know how to come back and shake that shit off. Go get some water, whatever the case it may be. So everyone has their own thing that they do.
Yeah.
Mine is just to sit down. Most of the time, I call my wife when I get back in my trailer. What's up, pretty baby? You good? How was work today? Nuts. Fucking nuts. So, been in this studio all day. It was daytime when I walked in this motherfucker. Now it's nighttime.
Right.
But inside, it was daytime during the night. So your brain, you know what I'm saying?
fucked up.
Like,
It's all over the place.
we shooting the daytime scenes in a studio. They create the sun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so you can be 2 a.m, but you didn't decide this shit. Or it's 2 a.m, and you sitting there with my guy John Stewart, Big T, and we know this his last day on set, and he got to kill himself today.
Right.
So your brain is like, and a woman died that same day. RIP to that lady who died on set when she got shot.
With Alec Baldwin.
With Alec
Yeah,
Baldwin.
yeah, that was
So even
unfortunate.
imagine that day as an actor. How you come, damn, somebody died from a fake gun. Well, not a fake gun,
Yeah,
a real
well-
gun. And we got to work with a gun today.
Right.
So your brain is on like 20, you know.
Wow,
So
I never even thought about it like that.
it's crazy, bro. So to come down from all that shit for me, it's always a joint rolled up, you know what I'm saying, ready to spark. conversation with my wife probably. Shout out to my baby. She'll stay up whatever time I need to call her. And good thing is she on the West Coast. I'll be on the East Coast shooting Peak Valley.
Right.
So you got to shake it off, man. And but it comes with you a little bit. Like I noticed my mouth will be a little flatter, after a while. I'm like, man, I get my speech back. I'm over here slurring my words, and I'm really, feeling a certain type of way today. Like Lil Murda, he got. I saw him catch that body, this season.
That was crazy. Like that scene, but it was only crazy, right? Because I'm like, yo, he all the way there now. Like now we seeing Lil Murda really be like Little Murda.
Yeah, living up to his name.
Right.
Yeah, facts.
Not lying in his raps.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, so how is this? Like, that's why I'm saying it has to, we got it, obviously season 3 is coming. Yeah. But it's like, because now it's like, all right, Little Murda has to change now. Like, he's not the same Little Murda no more.
Yeah. No, he's definitely Big Murda now for sure.
Yeah. That was a big ass gun.
Yeah, it's definitely a big ass Draco.
Yeah.
And even that, right? Like you sitting there and you're like, yo, we doing the shoot scene today. Part of you is excited about it, right? Part of you is like, damn, this shit, I get to play with this gun today. But then when you do the scene and you got to see your scene partner get all fucked up, your brain kind of like, oh shit, that's all right. I'm really gonna murk this nigga today.
Yeah.
I really gotta make this believable today. And so you get into it. But when you get done with that, you dap it. I remember I was dapping Zach up. You good, dog? You straight?
Yeah.
All right, bro. All right, we good. You know what I'm saying? Like in my mental,
get offset. Your character's out of here.
Yeah, it's done. But you're done.
Like, why are you still here?
Yeah, you
dead. You dead, bro. And even that shit, having beef on set. Shout out to Thomas Q Jones, man, my dog who played Maine on the show, right? Maine, see Thomas do shit like, and it's funny. I don't even know if people know this, but on set, just to fuck with me. I'll come to my chair, he'll have mad shit on my chair. Like all his snacks and shit. He's like, yo, what's good, nigga? What up?
Yeah.
And I just be like, man, get your shit off my chair. He's like, nah, man, like, yo, make me get this shit off the chair. And he's like,
he trying to get all the way in.
He trying to get all the way in.
It's like, yo, fam, listen, we're not shooting right
but
now.
then he'll get taking shit off. But it's just even little shit like that, that works for him.
Absolutely.
Snapping into character a little bit. But for me, like I said, it's listening to the Key Glock, listening to, the Money Bag, whatever, the Southern hip hop. But by the end of the day, I'm playing some fucking Lil Dragon.
Okay. Calm the fuck down.
Yeah.
Chill.
Like I'm calmed down. I'm playing some Wynton Marsalis or some Bob Marley or some shit,
But I mean that can go either way because y'all have heard the Jamie Foxx bit about Any Given Sunday when him and LL Cool J fought when LL got a little too in the character.
Legendary.
So you can have moments like that where it can become funny and just a quick physical interaction. But then you get like the Heath Ledgers that method acted way too much. Like you became the fucking Joker and that was part of your demise. Does that ever scare you with certain roles or cross your mind when scripts come in like, I'm gonna have to get into this character?
Well, when I saw the suicide scene, I was like, wow, okay. That's heavy. Like, that's going to be a heavy day. Shout out to Stars Network, and I'm not sure if other networks do this as well. I'm sure they do, but they brought in a therapist that day.
That's fire.
And so they had a therapist with us that entire day. So, for me, I personally had, I'll be transparent. I've had fucked up thoughts about suicide and shit. And so you're going to have your own personal struggles. But then if you've ever lost someone to suicide, you're going to be thinking about that while you're working. And so that's the thing about being an art and actor. It's like they put you in real life situations that make your brain and heart
go back to that time.
Yeah.
And you got to pull from that to be a good actor.
You got to pull from it. Don't be scared of it. And most directors go be like, go there, please. Like, don't go.
It's like, no, this is the worst time of my life. Fuck you.
Relive that shit.
And
you go there.
Right. And so it can get there for people where it's just like, yo, this is crazy. Even with the intimacy scenes. It's like, I ain't never done no shit like this. Like, this is going to be a tough day. This is going to be a hard day. But I'm going to push through understanding the story that I'm telling and who I'm telling it for. And so when you can do that and rely on your team, your wife, your whoever to keep you straight, then you good. But, some people, they might take that extra step. And I don't know what that brother went through. Heath Ledger in his last moments by himself. But, people say that he was out there with it. That can happen to anybody. Anybody can have a bad night. It's just his happened to be on an elevated platform and people's like, man, he's pulling from this shit. So you got to be careful, man. And don't allow the characters you play to be who you are, right? Like you don't. For
Don't
me,
take the character home.
don't take the shit home. You don't want to do that to the people because my wife already got to deal with everything that come with Lil Murda. It ain't no need me coming home and thinking I'm Lil Murda.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would just be like, all right.
Come on, man.
I don't think the marriage would work.
So find your way to let that shit go. Whether that's meditating. I used to bring my damn PlayStation to set all the time. So by the time I get back in my trailer,
Just clear your mind.
fuck it, I'm gonna play a little Call of Duty real quick. Or
yeah.
even between scenes, like, but even on the suicide scene, I remember going back. And it's that double entendre shit. It's like, cause I gotta catch a body today, you know, when I had to kill my buddy. So I'm playing Call of Duty. But it's like clearing my mind. But it's like
At the same time, you're still on that. Yeah, you're still on that frequency of killing. Like,
but it's like reminding
let me
yourself
clear my mind. I just killed somebody on set, and I'm gonna kill somebody in the
kill
game.
somebody. It's all pretend.
Yeah.
It's pretend, but it's real. You
It's
know?
funny, even like I was listening to a podcast interview, I think with one of the Hughes brothers, and he was talking about when him and Pac were cool before their whole fallout. And he went to the first screening of Juice with him. And he said, and this is his words, I don't want to be disrespectful to any of the Tupac estate, but he said he became Bishop that day. He watched himself on that screen, and from there went from the digital underground fun dancing guy and just became Bishop. Like he said, Juice might have been his downfall because he really became that fucking character and wanted to have that story.
He bodied that shit. Pac,
So did Maul.
I think Juice was the first movie for all of us in the hood that we felt like, man, I want to act.
nigga, what?
Like Juice was that movie for me. Like I'm like, I want to act.
And I saw it later in life because I grew up in like a Pentecostal church home. My mama went playing that shit. So I grew up seeing those type of movies later. But that's definitely one, Tupac in particular, who made me say, I want to do that.
Yeah.
But Pac had, the thing about Pac, and I went to the museum out here. I don't know if y'all had a chance to do that.
I haven't yet. I want to.
I'm gonna check
If
it out.
y'all got a little time, just 30 minutes, bro. Run over there, go through the exhibit. Changed my life, bro. Going through that, my wife
One
took
of the
me.
greatest human beings that's ever lived.
And his mom was too. For
sure.
So they teach you that first. They teach you about who she
Where he
was.
got
And
it
then,
from.
and then you say, oh,
It makes sense.
Maybe Pac really was about all that shit he
for
was on
sure.
because his mom was even more about it.
Yeah.
What?
And so you see that, and it's
His
just
family was.
they was about it.
Yeah.
And so it makes sense. And then he was a true artist, true thespian, true like just poet.
He was talking in front of the NAACP at the age of like 19, 20, I think.
Crazy.
It's just
Insane.
crazy when you think about it.
It's just crazy, bro.
Yeah.
And so like when I tell people all the time, my favorite scene is that when the locker closed. What up?
My favorite scene in that whole shit was when Bishop was at the house and he was talking to Raheem's mom after he killed Raheem. And he hugged her. It was like, that take a cold type of nigga
Cold
to do that.
motherfucker. Even when he held the look that he had on his
Yeah,
face.
looking
like,
at Q like, nigga, you better not, you already know.
say nothing.
Exactly.
Nah, he cold, man. I take a lot of that. I pull from that. I pull from a lot of actors, but that scene in particular, I pull from. My wife know in my daily life, I pull from that fucking scene. Like, don't fuck with me, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, please don't. And even how he leave off with the smile and shit, my nigga. Like, everything's gravy, but please don't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Pop.
Do you and your wife, do y'all ever just have fun with like acting out some of y'all favorite roles in the house? Like some of y'all favorite movies?
Are you asking if they role play more?
Right.
That's a very invasive. That's a very invasive question.
No, not like not on some sexual shit,
Right.
but like, you know, some of y'all favorite shows or favorite movies, and y'all just start acting it out.
She's a huge TV movie buff, so when her family come around, they fucking retorting all types of shit. They saying, and they all know the line too. Remember when down the motherfucker said the shit, whatever. I was just like, damn, they know the line.
Yeah.
I ain't grow up watching a whole bunch of movies,
Right.
So I love Hook. Hook was one of my favorite movies.
Legendary movie.
Great movie.
Shout out to Robin Williams, R.P. Man,
Yeah.
like
Another person that probably method acted.
Right. And one of my favorite actors, which is insane. So, and we don't know what that brother had going on, but shout out to Hook. But yeah, we got down, we walking around the house saying, we got a couple sayings. P Valley, obviously now you say something from P Valley, we'll know the goddamn what the line is.
Yeah.
But her and her family, they know all types of movies and shit. And I wish I knew more. I be trying to watch more movies, but I be in my own little lane, man.
Lil Murda did have the Draco, but Pac did shoot 18 shots from a 357.
Yeah, he chased him all the way up down the Harlem.
Six bullets, and he
never
shot him
reloaded.
18 times.
Yeah, never
How did he do that?
He went crazy, bro. Like I was just like, this cat, man, he's losing his mind.
Legendary, iconic movie though. Iconic role.
I just watched Poetic Justice the other day too.
Another group.
For the first time?
Nah.
Oh, I'm about to say Jay,
nah,
don't say
it. Nah, we was just watching it in the crib. Shout out to Joe Torre. I had worked with Joe Torre. That's one of the movies I'm talking about. But anyway, go watch this.
I'm definitely going to watch this shit. Now that you said Joe Torre's in it with you, I'm going to watch that shit.
We had a good time.
The old manager of the Yankees?
No, man.
I'm joking.
I got to watch that movie now. Now that you say, because now when you say that, I kind of already know, like, I see where that was.
You know what I'm saying? But it's go watch it. Man.
Memories, though.
Memories. Memories.
I think the most underrated scene in movie history, and I'll never claim to be like a crazy movie buff, but to me, Jamie Foxx, Al Pacino, Any Given Sunday, when he goes to lunch at Al Pacino's crib.
Yeah.
I think that's a better back and forth than De Niro and Pacino and Heat. I think that's one of the greatest scenes ever.
It's up there.
It's up there. And
not only
Jamie
the
Foxx
acting,
is up there.
what they talking about. They just breaking down how fucked up the NFL is and how fucked up it is for our athletes to even try. Like, there's so much depth to that scene. And I think Jamie outacted Al Pacino in that shit.
I'm not mad at that.
Jamie done outacted a lot of people, man. Jamie is a legend. He's one of those people that I look up to and I admire and I inspire to.
And worked with already.
I've worked with, you know.
And similar to as far as the music and so many other facets to not just acting.
Just not acting, and then that life experience. Jamie wasn't always fucking famous and shit. You know what I'm saying? It was a hardship that came up towards that. But Jamie is good to his people too, man. I've heard some great stories about Jamie. I was working with a gentleman on set. And he was telling me how much love Jamie showed him on the Jamie Foxx show. But yeah, man, you got people who just they go shine, bro. No matter who they working with, they go shine because they got that easy, subtle light to follow. Jamie is not like he don't do a whole bunch of flexing.
Right.
It's just like, that's an easy light to spot. You know what I'm saying? So I think that scene was a beast. This movie I'm about to do, Black Spartans, doesn't give me Any Given Sunday feel, but it gives me like Remember the Titans feel. I look forward to
when you were explaining it, I felt that as
Yeah,
well. What's the basketball one? When they started all 5 black players in the championship.
Oh, that was my coach. That was him, Willie Worsley. Glory Road.
Which
Glory
maybe
Road.
15 years ago that came out? 20 years ago?
2006.
Yeah,
okay,
Road.
that's hard. Yeah, this new joint, Black Spartans, I'm about to do, got that athlete movie we ain't seen in a minute. You know what I'm saying? A little history period piece. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty dope. And I think, like I said, you want to stand out as an actor. Yeah. You know, but you don't want to. That's not your mission. You're not trying to be in this movie just to shine. You're not trying to work with people just to outact them.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, how can I elevate this movie? But also, you want to be a part of good teams. That's part of that thing was going back to like choosing your work. If you're the best actor in the movie, you might not want to do it. You might want to reconsider that. Yeah. If you go be the best actor in the motherfucking movie. Like, nah, go work with some people that's gonna challenge you. You know?
What would you say in closing? What would you say to the drummer in Times Square right now that doesn't know what the future has for him, to the kid in North Carolina in high school that, you know, is trying to figure out where he want to go? Like, what would you say to those people in those moments right now?
Great question, brother. Well, let me just say, first of all, man, you guys are amazing. It's one of the best interviews I've ever done. True professionals, true journalists, true just connoisseurs of this, what we're doing. So thank you for having me. And what I would say to the young Fonzo, the God, as my boy Brandon says, just don't stop now. Don't stop now. Don't stop growing now. Don't stop looking yourself in the mirror now. Keep going. It's going to pay off. And so I'm glad I did that. No matter how discouraged you get, just keep going. No matter the obstacles that are going to come your way, keep going. You know, it's going to be a lot. It's going to be this character named Lil Murda that's going to fuck up the world for a hot second. And everybody going to have something to say. Push through that. That's nothing. Because wait till you see the other side of that. And so that's what I would say to him. And love your loved ones, you know. protect your son, protect your daughter, my stepdaughter, you know, figure out what type of provider you want to be early in life. And yeah, man, just constantly giving myself kind of that uplift, but have a good time. Spend your bread.
Right.
Smoke some good weed. You know what I'm saying? Go to these appearances and do what you gonna do. Have a great time. So have fun, but remain focused, you know.
Dope.
Where do you find fulfillment outside of work and family?
Man, that's really where a lot of my fulfillment comes from, is family and work. But I would say just constantly building a network. You know what I'm saying? I know that's work a little bit, but at the same time, it's a different type of work for us at this point. Y'all doing exactly what you want to do. Mm-hmm. And so finding joy in doing exactly what you want to do. Like, oh, damn, I want to touch the cannabis shit. Shout out to Ball Family Farms. I want to touch this movie shit, or I just want to take my family. Y'all can choose to just not do this for a couple weeks. Mm-hmm. And say, you know what? I'm going to take my family to Turks and Caicos or whatever the case may be. So
listeners will be pissed, but yeah.
Yeah, listeners will be pissed. Or y'all pile them up. Yeah. Like, fuck it, we go do 2, 3, 4 in one day. Yeah. Now we off for 2 weeks because we already done lined it up. So having that type of advantage, man, is always an option. But, you know, just building, having a good time. Me and my wife like dancing in the kitchen, dog. Mm-hmm. Yeah, quiet, you know what I'm saying? Just playing a little music, dancing in the kitchen at the crib, but mapping it out. Mm-hmm. What's next? Mm-hmm. How next time when we do when I do the podcast, I'm sitting on the yacht with you and shit. Right. It's like, damn, Ma, we really out here on the yacht. You got the Wi-Fi out here. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
couldn't find it in here.
Right. It's gonna be different. So it's like, and then I look forward to that. Mm-hmm. You know, so that's where I get my joy from, man. It's like the connections that I'm making with real people. On my father's tombstone, I say this all the time. It's a bridge builder. Mm-hmm. Okay. Bridge builder. Mm-hmm. And so just doing that, bro, like bridge building, man. I know you said that's work, but for me, it ain't. It's light. Yeah. And the money that come with it, that's the incentive. Yeah. You start to learn that. Like, that's the incentive that come with life. But what's the pleasures and the joy of this shit, you know?
Well, J Alphonse, man, listen, I thank you, man. It's been a pleasure.
My guy.
We locked in forever family, man. I love everything you're doing.
Much love, bro.
We rooting for you. We supporting you, man. P Valley season 3, of course, we know is coming. Black Spartans is coming. The LA Clippers story is coming. Mm-hmm. We salute you, we support you, man, and we gonna link up again soon.
My guys, appreciate you. Let's get it. No.